For daily Ask Reddit, doctors, have you ever witnessed the meltdown of a birth that was clearly a result of a cheating spouse? What was the aftermath? It wasn't at the birth, but I used to work for a urologist who did vasectomies. He did a vas on a guy, then did the requisite 3-month and 6-month semen analysis follow-up tests to make sure it worked. The 6-month test showed no sperm, so the guy was all set to not father children. Fast forward 2 years, and he calls my surgeon fuming, ranting, and raving about how he ducked up the vasectomy and now his wife is pregnant. So doc orders another semen analysis. Of course, it comes back totally negative. A very awkward conversation ensued in the exam room that I'd have paid anything to eavesdrop on. The best part is, the couple left the office pissed off, with the wife sticking to her story that she would never cheat on her husband, and the husband in complete denial that she'd ever lie about that. Last I heard they were gearing up to sue or something, but I don't work there anymore, so I don't know what happened. These stories remind me of something I experienced firsthand the day after my son was born. Nurse, so your baby's blood type is a wife, like me. Nurse, and Addy. Me, no, I'm A+ nurse, you must be mistaken, that combination isn't possible. Open bracket close bracket. Nurse, I'll leave you guys to it. Me, pulls out phone and frantically googles baby blood type combinations. The nurse was wrong. A patient asked if both possible fathers could be in her C-section, so that neither would miss the birth of his child. They'd figure out the details later. And the answer was, after a lot of careful consideration, because it did seem like a semi-reasonable plan, the answer was no, because it was too easy to imagine many scenarios in which a fight might break out in the OR and instruments go flying. Also, there is a pretty strict rule about only one person allowed with the patient in the OR. In the end, she brought her mom. A friend went through it. He went down a dark path of drugs, and we'd lost touch after a big fight about how he was ducked up all the time, and he was wasting his life. He contacted me out of the blue to say that I was right. He needed to step up and be responsible, and that he had quit everything cold turkey because he was going to be a dad. Apparently he was going to help his girl get sober, and they were going to have this kid and get married. He really got his shit together over the course of the pregnancy. He was clean, got a job, and got a nice place to live. She was not so dedicated. She continued to use meth, pills, and heroin throughout the pregnancy. She ended up going into labor early at 26 weeks. She gave birth to a premature addicted baby boy. He went directly into the NICU. She stayed in the hospital and visited the NICU until she was released. She then disappeared. She never visited the baby, never called to check on it, didn't go home, just fell off the face of the planet. He however spent every spare second at the NICU with that baby. However, as the weeks passed, it became pretty obvious that the baby wasn't his. Skin tone evened it out and hair came in. Chick was blonde with blue eyes. My friend is super pale blonde with blue eyes. The baby was clearly half Hispanic. He wanted to adopt the baby, but they wouldn't let him. The state took it, and it went into foster care. It totally ducked him up for a long time. He relapsed for a while, and got into a bad car accident. He spent some time in the hospital, and then got everything back together. He's married now to a really nice girl and rapidly had 4 kids that are his, with another currently on the way. Not a doctor, but still a relevant story. When I was born, my father was 100% certain that I was not his, because his blood type and my mom's blood type couldn't have produced me. He punched a hole in the wall in the hospital and yelled at my mom refusing to sign the birth certificate because I have A+ blood, my mom has 0 neg, and he was positive that he had AB neg because that's what his brand new dog tag said. He was in the army at the time. Turns out, they misprinted his dog tags. All his old tags said A positive. TL. Dr. A typo on my dad's army issued dog tags almost caused my parents to divorce. Edit. Words are hard before coffee. I'm not a doctor, but when my godson was born, the nurse told us about this guy who had gotten 2 girls pregnant at the same time. They both wound up at that hospital just down the hall from each other, giving birth hours apart. What a lucky guy. My friend was a delivery nurse for the hospital that all high-risk pregnancies go to. They are extremely busy, and she has brought a lot of people into the world. She once delivered a baby in the parking lot by herself. This has come up on a weekly basis, but she shared the best story with us. A Caucasian couple come in, and the mother is in labor. When the dude is filling out paperwork, the mother takes the doctor aside. She tells him there is a chance that the baby may a different race than the father, and to let her know as soon as the baby is born. The baby is born. The doctor turns to the mother and announces loudly, "Congratulations on your white baby boy."